We are coming on the air right now with the breaking news that the pioneering musician Prince has died.
I just could not believe it. I said, no, can't be true.
What he wanted most in life was to become famous.
In April 2016, an artist who was considered the greatest artist passed away at the age of 57. And no, it wasn't an ordinary death. He died after accidentally overdosing on fentanyl at his Paisley Park home.
The cause of death is not yet known.
Was it an accident, or was it something more? Singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, producer, musical arranger, and occasionally actor and dancer. It is impossible to sum up the career of Prince in just a single word. During his 40 years of stardom, Prince Rogers Nelson released 39 albums, to which he dedicated himself completely as the protagonist of all phases of production, with 100 million records sold, 7 Grammys, a Golden Globe, and an Oscar for Best Original Song for the hit Purple Rain.
And the Golden Globe goes to The Song of the Heart, Happy Feet, music and lyrics by Prince.
He established himself as one of the most popular and influential artists of all time. He spearheaded a musical movement that mixed funk, rock, pop, and new wave. Prince taught the world to dance in a new and different way.
Erotic literature laying around that was very easily picked up.
By now, you would have plenty of questions in your mind. Could his life have been saved? How did he die? Biography of Prince. Prince was born on June 7, 1958, in the state of Minnesota in the American Midwest, in a house that resounded with music in every room. His father was a pianist and a composer, and his mother was a jazz singer. The name Prince Rogers was a tribute to his father's band, his biggest supporter. At the age of 7, Prince was already strumming his tiny hands on the piano and writing his first song, Funk Machine. A child prodigy, Prince signed his first contract at the age of 17. His demo tape caught the attention of several record labels, including the giant Warner Bros. Records, which sent him to record his debut album. The album, For You, contained information in the booklet that would impress critics and the public and become Prince's trademark. He had written, produced, arranged, and composed all the songs and played all 27 instruments. He then started working at a production company, which recognized his talent and invested in Prince's career. In 1978, Warner Bros. Published the musician's first studio album, For You. There, a great story began, made up of more than 30 studio albums released. Most singles and albums have reached the top 5 of the list of greatest songs or albums of all time. All this success is due to him being considered a workaholic, because he is a perfectionist and works too much on his compositions, which are written and produced by himself.
When you get the inner calling to do something and you know that you're being inspired by God, and you pretty much know you better answer that call.
Furthermore, he is responsible for playing some instruments in the materials he produced, yet another thing that earned him much praise from specialized critics. They considered his performances on stage extraordinary due to his versatility in composing, playing, singing, and dancing, in addition to his charisma. The musician's songs mixes genres such as funk, R&B, soul, new wave, jazz, rock, pop, and even hip-hop. Of course, such success could not be left out of Antenna 1. In our programming, you can check out Purple Rain, the title track of the 1984 album of the same name. The song, which mixes rock, pop, gospel, and orchestral music, reached second place on the United States chart and earned Prince a gold certificate for selling 1 million units in the country. Early years and youth. Prince Roger Nelson's parents were musicians, so he was exposed to the world of music as a child. From an early age, he was exposed to the world of music, developing skills in composing and playing various instruments. It was from his father that he received his first guitar. With school friends, he founded Grant Central, later Champaign. He learned to play the piano at age 7, and later learned to play others, such as bass, drums, and guitar. While still a teenager, he joined local bands and developed his own musical style, mixing different rhythms. Artistic career. His first album, For You, was released in 1978. From then on, Prince would begin a successful career with many other iconic albums, such as Purple Rain from 1984, which sold more than 20 million copies. This album received an Oscar award for Best Soundtrack for the film of the same name. Prince was a part of the band The Revolution in the 1980s and The Power Generation in the 1990s. He also had a solo career, a complete artist. He was known for his originality, androgynous style, and bold lyrics that dealt with themes such as love, sex, and spirituality. After conflicts with producers in 1993, the artist decided to change his name to an unpronounceable symbol that mixed the feminine and masculine symbols. But in 2000, he returned to using his name. What was your favorite thing about him as an artist? His songs, his acting, or his dances? Tell us down in the comments section below. Personal life. Prince had a unique, provocative style of dressing, being, and presenting himself. He defied the norms of the time, moving between genders. Today, he would perhaps be considered non-binary. He has always had public relationships with women. He was married to Mate Garcia between 1996 and 2000, and they had a son who died a few hours after birth.
It's the worst thing that ever happened to me and to him, I think.
From 2001 to 2006, he was married to Manuela Testolini. Religion was present in his life, and in the late 90s, he converted to the Jehovah's Witness doctrine, which was reflected in his music. The career of Prince. In 1975, the young artist who graduated from school was invited to work in his group 94 East by his cousin's husband. A year later, the young man prepared a demo recording that aroused the interest of several recording companies, including Warner Bros., A&M, and Columbia. He signed a contract with the first of these labels in 1977, left his hometown, and moved to Sausalito, California. A year later, he released his first album, For You, acting simultaneously as a singer, songwriter, arranger, and producer. Soft and Wet, a song he co-wrote with Chris Moon, peaked at 12 on the Hot Souls singles chart and 92 on the Billboard Hot 100. Already, the artist's early works demonstrated the innovativeness of his music, which originally combined separate directions. In particular, danceable funk with a pulsating rhythm and lyrical, melodic soul. Subsequently, the musician's experiments with forms and genres did not end. In 1979, Prince formed his own group, The Revolution, and released his second disc, Prince, which reached number 22 on the Billboard 200 chart. One of his tracks, I Wanna Be Your Lover, topped the Hot Soul singles chart. A year later, the musician's studio disc, Dirty Mind, appeared. It contained stunning, sexy, and shocking compositions. It was certified gold, and the single Uptown peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Dance and Hot Souls singles charts. In 1981, the musician's fans created his next fourth album, Controversy, which included no less provocative creations and went platinum. The popular performer's non-standard music and extravagant stage images caused a strong reaction. When Prince appeared in Los Angeles as the opening act for the Rolling Stones in high-heeled shoes, a bikini over leggings, and a short jacket resembling an overcoat, the audience threw garbage at him, forcing him to leave the stage.
I just couldn't believe it happened, to tell you the truth.
Rumors about his unconventional orientation began circulating in the media, but despite this, the musician continued to shock the public with his controversial costumes. In parallel with his main solo work, he collaborated with the group The Time, led by singer-songwriter Morris Day. At the beginning of 1982, Prince made a short tour of US cities, and in the fall he released the disc 1999, its title track, which became the singer's first hit abroad against the proliferation of nuclear weapons. His Little Red Corvette was the rare video by black artists to get airplay on MTV Delirious and became a top 10 hit on the Hot 100. An International Lover earned him his first Grammy nomination. The artist's popularity reached its peak with the appearance of the musical drama Purple Rain in 1984, where he played the main role in the studio disc of the same name, which became the soundtrack to the film. It led the Billboard 200 for 6 months, bringing the author 3 Grammy Awards and an Oscar for Best Score. The compositions from his record became worldwide hits. On the Billboard Hot 100, When Doves Cry and Let's Go Crazy peaked at number 1, while the title track reached number 2. The album itself was ranked 72nd on Rolling Stone's list of 500 greatest albums of all time, having announced in 1985 a temporary pause in performances and the creation of videos. The musical virtuoso had already released his 7th album, Around the World in a Day, where he presented creative innovations in the neo-psychedelia style. The disc held first place on the Billboard 200 for 3 weeks. The single Raspberry Beret placed 2nd on the Billboard Hot 100, and according to several experts, was later recognized as the most ideal in the singer's career. In 2000, the singer again worked under his own name and continued to experiment with musical styles, presenting the jazzy disc, The Rainbow Children. Listeners' enthusiastic emotions finally returned with the appearance in 2004 of the singer-songwriter's 20th album, Musicology. The death of Prince. The cause of Prince's death was not announced, but the musician's health had been worrying fans for a few weeks. On the 15th, upon returning from a show in Atlanta, Prince was rushed to a hospital. The next day, he was back on stage and his health problem was described as a severe flu. On April 21st, 2016, after overdosing on fentanyl, Prince was found collapsed at his home in Minnesota. Doctors were called, but they couldn't do anything, and he died. He was treating hip problems and pain. Despite online speculations about his death, it was proved that his death was indeed accidental. Prince was 57 years old and left an essential legacy for American music, especially black music. Prince left an unfinished autobiography, The Beautiful Ones, which was also the name of one of his songs and was scheduled to be released in 2017. So yes, Prince was indeed a phenomenon. He worked as a singer, songwriter, producer, dancer, multi-instrumentalist, and actor. He became one of the biggest music icons in the 1980s and covered different styles, such as pop, soul, funk, rock, and jazz. Prince died in 2016 at the age of 57 from medication abuse. Stars like him are very rare. This channel covers all the amazing artists who are no longer with us. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Comment down below which stars you want us to talk about next. Until then, take care.